morning. Good morning. Can everyone hear me? Let me know if it's loud enough. Yesterday I realized I was a little bit too close to the mic. It was a little loud, in my opinion. So try not to do that today. But let me know if you guys can hear me. If you can just type in the chat, say that the volume is good. I can usually check on my I don't think you guys can hear me. Let me see. Is this better? Barely. I don't know how to make sure this is constant without having to hold this too close. So I think this may be a little bit better if I'm talking like this. No, because the volume's on like 20. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Because I'm not really sure if I changed anything, but I don't want to be like yelling too loud. So I can hear myself on the TV. Hopefully that's loud enough for you guys. We're going to go with that. We're going to go with this loud enough now. Okay, cool. If you can't hear me, just let me know. So today we're going to be looking for higher prices. We're going to be looking to see if we can take out the PM session high, AM session high from yesterday, and the current weekly high. That's what I'm getting in terms of just higher time frame bias. That's just what I see personally. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Yesterday we tried to look for the same thing and ended up coming down. It's fine. We got caught up here pretty much. This fair value gap I think is important. Something that ICT has talked about. When you find a fair value gap in a swing high, extend it over. So we have that there. Maybe we create a fair value gap up in here too. But I'm not looking at this to reject. I'm looking for a price to trade higher just in terms of the weekly. It's going to be easier if I do this. Hold up. The weekly profile, what I'm pretty much getting. Right? We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was initially thinking Tuesday was going to be the high of the week and then that we would continue to trade lower because the classic weekly expansion, you're going to get Monday, Tuesday, high of the week, Wednesday, lower, Thursday, maybe a retracement, but continuously looking for lower prices. Well, Thursday, we kind of went up and came down. And when I woke up this morning, we're right here. So this to me feels and just looks like we want to trade a little bit higher. Now, do we have enough strength to get up here? I don't know. We'll see that. But currently right now, just how deep we are back in, that's what I'm looking for. We could also just not even take out either or. That's also a potential thing that can happen. So that's just kind of what I'm looking at in terms of the weekly profile. I'm going to suggest that this is the low of the week, and we might look for expansion. We don't have news today, which is also okay, but there's still that capability that we could look for that. So that's what I'm looking for today, just in price. You guys can let me know if the volume is good for you. I'm trying not to yell today. It'd also be in the mic too close because I also don't trade the volume is a little low. Hey Billy, how you doing? Okay, let me see if I can turn this up. I think if I get closer it sounds better, but turn it up, bro. Turn me up. I just have to see. Okay, now it sounds better. I think it's because I'm just closer. I gotta figure out. I think I might have to get a little arm thing, and then it will be better. Because right now I'm insanely close to this mic, so we'll see. But for today, we're kind of looking for higher prices. We're gonna be looking to see if we can attack the AM session high from yesterday, PM session high as well, and then we have the weekly high. Remember, we do have a gap. So the gap let me show you what I mean by that. So if we go to regular trading hours, Here is where we closed yesterday. Okay, yeah, thank you, Billy. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you for stopping by. Yeah, definitely took what you said. Uh, appreciate it. Um, so the gap that what I'm saying is going to be created. You have the low where we closed, and then if you look at where we're trading right now, not auto. I don't know what I just did. If you look at the extended hours, you can see where we are right now, right? Hey, Corgi, I actually need you to hit me up on Instagram if you can after this on so I can talk to you about something. I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, definitely yeah, everyone has a great day today. That's what we are hoping for. That's what we're expecting to see. But yeah, just hit me up on my Instagram. It should be hit me up on Pip Casso FX. Hit me up on that one right now. I'm gonna end up changing back to my normal one. But yeah, if you could hit me up on there, definitely. I just want to talk to you about something. But yeah, so this is where we closed yesterday, and this is where we are now. So know that we have a gap, obviously, and we have a premium opening gap. So with that premium opening gap, I think this will be a little bit better if I hold it here because I can still trade like this. With the premium opening gap, we can see it trade a little bit lower. I'm not expecting that, but we'll see what we end up getting. So we're gonna go on the lower time frame, just the 5-minute chart. So how I'm starting to do this to try to make sure I'm cycling through the time frames. On this screen, I'll like bring it over here, like this one right here. I have just the 5-minute chart, the 15-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, the hourly chart, the 4-hour chart, and the daily chart. So on each of those charts, I just have the different time frames just to help me make sure I'm rotating and looking at all of them because I think it's important to see that. Now on the 4-hour chart, the reason why I also think that we're going to go a little bit higher, let me just note that on the 4-hour chart as well. So we trade back down here. We actually trade down to a discount, but if you look at this gap here, we respond off that gap that's at 50% retracement. And remember how ICT talks about if you have a swing low, look for the fair value gap that's there. On the higher time frame is there. Also couple up with this rejection block. So there's a little bit there that is indicating to me a little bit higher. Also how we keep trading back up higher. So that's a little bit of what is getting me to look for higher prices. That's what that's indicating to me. Now, again, we can obviously be on the wrong side, and that's the risk that's always there. But just for right now, and I'm looking at a higher time frame, that's just what I'm looking at. We keep gravitating back up here. It doesn't mean that we can't just dump. And if we do just dump, I'll wait for for it to show me that that's exactly what it wants to do. If I'm wrong, and then I'll look for an entry to the downside, just like I did on Tuesday. I think it was something like that. So we will be chilling until then. Remember, I'm not in a rush to get into trades. I'm not like trying to force anything. We just out here chilling, waiting for the market to give us an example, to give us a indication that it wants to do one or the other. But I am looking for higher prices. That's honestly what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see. And that's what we're going to go with until proven otherwise. That's what I'm going to look for. But yeah, so yesterday, let's just go look at yesterday. Look on the 15-minute chart. So we showed that we didn't really want to go anywhere consolidation. Here's the fair value gap there that formed at 12:15. Also trades up into it. 1:30 is the PM session, and that was my indication a little bit later on when I kept seeing that we weren't doing anything. My mind told me that, okay, so if we're not doing anything in the AM session right now, we're just consolidating, the PM session is where the move will actually take place, and that's exactly what we got. So just like a little Tony, what's good, Tony? How you doing, bro? So with it ending up having the, here, let me put it like this. So with, how's my trading week been? Right now I'm down like I think $173, something like that. Yesterday, I didn't trade on Wednesday. Wednesday was a banger. I just had something to do, so I couldn't do it. But yeah, so yesterday got caught up in this, and then, yeah, it is what it is. How's your week been going, trading wise, and just in general as well? But when you have a very, very large, I'll say overnight session, and this was what I was being kind of conflicted with a little bit, was we pretty much shot straight up after yesterday, pretty much straight up when it opened. And the thing that I was struggling with was like, okay, so since we've done that, normally the PM session is going to be the better session to trade, but I don't trade it as much. So I was kind of conflicted, but I was like, you know what? Maybe we'll see it go a little bit higher up here because I was looking at weekly profile and I thought that it had changed. And it kind of has. I'm thinking that this is now the low, even though this doesn't necessarily look like a low, but we got to remember what it took out. So now to me, I'm feeling like the buy side now is more of the target. So that's what I'm looking for. And again, this fair value gap right here, you caught it disintegrated in the PM session. Yeah, it was nice. It was really, really nice. I saw it like even on the 5-minute chart here too, because I looked at and I went back and did note taking as well. Even though I didn't trade the PM session, I did note this. Look at that entry right there. So this trades up into a 15-minute gap. Displacement below the low. That's a breaker as well. You also have this gap here. Inverse everything. There's a lot of things correlating right here to take this trade. It pops up in there. Also, when I start to see a lot of wicks and a lot of like just overlapping price action and not even seeing anything on a 5-minute chart, or sorry, not seeing anything on like a 2-minute, 1 minute, because if we go back here, right, and we just look, we have 9 minutes, we got time. So this is where I got caught up in, right? So the first trade was here. I thought we failed to hit the upper portion of the gap and then created this fair value gap. So I was like, okay, this was the first presented fair value gap that I didn't even believe was going to be respected, and it wasn't. Trade above, we had this swing high, trade down there, it stopped me out. I was like, okay, cool. So I waited. It came down again. It expanded above. I bought, in my opinion, not in a great place. I bought up here. It came down, stopped me out. After I saw that, yeah, you got caught up in that area as well. Yeah, right after I started seeing this, I was like, I'm done. Like I don't have any interest in trading the rest of the day because this is just not what I want to see, right? Slightly undisciplined. Okay, what do you think like the biggest the undisciplined, I guess, what do you think your mistake was or mess up was? Because for me, I don't feel like these were aggressive entry trades or that. They just didn't pan out, right? That's just the end of the story. Because if it would have went higher, we wouldn't even be talking about that, right? I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I would say, hey, this one I should have bought maybe a little bit down here, because even if we take it, and I talked about it in the stream, even if I take this, I bought up here. That's not good. Minimum should have been in on this candle. So it still would have got stopped out, but minimum should have been on this candle, right? That was the thing that where I saw, I was like, that's something I need to fix, right? So that's where it was. But again, just making sure that I'm drawing out my premium to discount before I take a trade. Because if you go back and look at the trades where I do that, they pan out. Even though yesterday they wouldn't have panned out, but I would have I would have had less risk on the trade, if that makes sense. So today, because I took losses, I trade with 2 contracts. I'm not gonna trade anything more than that. That's just what it is for today. Tony, you too. Can you hit me up on Instagram? Just DM me. I'm not sure if you have. I've pretty much haven't had my phone the whole week. I got locked out of my account because I forgot my password. So I've been trying to get it back from Apple, and they've been a little slow. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. But it is what it is. So again, stop run up here. Let's go on the 15-minute chart just to see real quick. See what we're looking at. So again, we got London high that pretty much crosses this. So here's a London high. Remember, I have different accounts Yeah, ignoring the market conditions. Yeah. Yeah, that can be hard, especially for me because I was really feeling. I was like, dang, Wednesday was like a banger, and like I saw all that stuff, and I had mapped out. It pretty much did everything I was looking for. Those lows that I've been looking for, like the past since last Friday, like they finally got hit. Those lows right there, finally they got hit yesterday. I was like, or Wednesday, and I was like, dang, I couldn't even take part of that, but it is what it is. I think for me next time, just knowing and seeing a large range overnight, I think I'm just gonna sit out the morning and maybe I'll look to trade the afternoon session, but I'll only trade it on the 15-minute or the 5-minute. That's it. So it clears all of this mess out. And so seeing this that it doesn't want to go higher, breaks lower, okay, there, and then go on a 5-minute chart, then you kind of see it, right? Also with the large gap, I think it was like 200 something handles. Looking for 50%, you would have smacked that right there and been chilling. So I think that's maybe what I'll do, something like that. But we'll see. Or if I trade in the morning session, it'll be just demo, or like you'll see trading view over here. So, but we'll see how that works out. But yeah, so right now we just went up above that high. Again, let's just look at ES. Same thing. So you have a little bit of SMT here with I think, yeah, with ES. So this is, I always got to make sure I draw on here. So you have this, then this high, then you have this high and this high. This one's lower, that one's higher. So that's what's SMT. So for me, just looking at that, if I'm looking at higher prices, because that's what I'm seeing based off of what's happening. Now, it doesn't mean it can't drop, because it can obviously drop and do whatever. But my job, you got to remember, our jobs is to observe the market and then interpret what it's doing, not what we want to see. So if I'm seeing this come up here and then reject hard, that's not telling me that it wants to go higher, even though I have that idea. So I always come into the day with a loose bias. So my loose bias is higher. That's what I'm looking for. But if those signatures are not being met, then that means I'm wrong. And so if I'm wrong, how can I frame something that's not just guessing, but how can I frame it to say, okay, well, now we want to see us trade lower. This is just this line down here is just let me show you. Regular trading hours close. That's all that is. So this lets me know how far away we are. So when I go to the extended hours, that's where that is, just so you're wondering what that is. I do see this new day opening gap down there as well. So if we do want to trade lower, which is not what I'm looking for, obviously that's a clear target down there that it could want to reach for. Okay, so we've had some nice movement there. We're hitting back up into London high. Again, if we're looking for higher prices, you want to see it drop first. That's ideally what we'd want to see. But this is the fair value gap that's inside the swing high. That's why I have that outlined. And here's London's high from yesterday. That overlaps with that. So to me, that's a really, really key area. Now we'll see how we respond here. Now, if we had extended, like let's say we were down below here overnight, I would expect a TGIF. But because that's not the case, that's not what I'm looking for. And if this ends up being the high, then we're going to obviously trade lower. So I'm trying to, like, I'm not playing both sides. I'm not saying, okay, I want to see it go higher and then say I also want to see it go lower. I want to see it trade higher. That's what I want to see. But if I'm not getting those conditions, I'm not just going to sit here and try to buy when it doesn't want to do that, right? So for me, I like this swing high being broken on the 15-minute chart. Let's see what it looks like on the 5-minute chart. So you have this swing high. That's the same swing high. You have this, which to me I would see as a propulsion block, but we need to start seeing some movement here, right? So I'm not going to, again, just jump in trades just because they look like this or they look like that. So there's SMT there as well. You see that? So ES was looking heavy. I could tell that in the morning just on the hourly chart. So we're about to get the open. So we have like a 200, we have like 100 and something handle open. So this next candle there. So that's the opening. So that is, so we've traded almost down to, so we've already traded down to the upper quadrant of that range already. Again, I'm not interested to get in until the first presented fair value gap forms at least. So I'm waiting for that. So I just want to see how many handles we are. So premium gap opening, 166 handles and a quarter. So again, a large gap. To get to the contour encroachment of yesterday, it's going to be about 90 handles. So just waiting here. Again, no rush. I don't want to be too zoomed in. Gotta go to the 1 minute chart actually. I don't want to be too zoomed in and too caught up in all this, because you don't want to be sitting here looking at this, because every movement is going to look bigger than it actually is, right? So we have to make sure we're out. We're not too close. Now this is the PM session high from yesterday. Clear target, clear draw, I think, especially if we can trade up here. That's really close proximity. So let's go back to the 15-minute chart on this other one so I can see that. So we've hit this key gap. Just want to remind everyone, also myself. So this is immediate rebalance. See how that works out. And we have this gap here. That's inside the swing high. It's the first one inside the swing high before we break lower. That's important. ICT has talked about that, so that's why I have that outlined. So no news today as well. So not in a rush, right? Just got to be very disciplined on what we're seeing and what's happening, and just going from there, right? We do know that we have massive SMT between these two, but I don't see this going lower right now. So I'm waiting more for the upside. I would love to see us create a fair value gap over top of this if we're going to go higher, and that would give me a lot more confidence to see us trade up here, even up to here. And again, don't really need like crazy amounts, right? We're just looking for the lines portion, right? I don't need to get everything. I'm just trying to be consistent. And that's all I'm waiting for. And the key indicator every single time in your trades, the key indicator is always going to be displacement. If you're not seeing displacement, it ain't the trade. It's not the trade for you if you're not seeing displacement. Like clear displacement, that's what you want. That is what you'll want. Look at this. So this is why I like using the midnight opening range. Look how we traded up above London high yesterday, and we hit it. So still watching that. It's not necessarily, I'll say, the exact thing that I'd want to see us the way that we're rejecting that. But again, I just observe. And once I observe, I interpret. Then once I interpret, I then am able to make a decision. But there are certain things that you should not be making decisions in terms of like in the trade. So after I lose, my decision has already been made before that has happened. So I already know that, okay, I lose. This is the next thing to do. I trade with less. You do not make your decision. Those types of decisions do not come while you're in an emotional state. They're made in a calm state, understanding, okay, this is what happens. Now, when I'm looking at the charts and I'm trying to read or forecast what's happening, I make decisions based off what it's showing me. If it's showing me it wants to trade higher, that's what I'm going to do. If it's showing me it wants to trade lower, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be so locked in. It's like, oh, no, I can't do this or I can't do that. And I'm going to do exactly what I believe the market is trying to show me. And that's how I'm making my decisions based off the trading. And if I have the setup that makes sense, a setup that it's not rushed, then for me, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. The outcome is not something that I can control. But if I see my setup and I take it, that's what I've studied to do. Right? I've studied these charts for years to see when I see my trade setup, I take it. Right? Because if we were going like animal hunting or like bird watching or something like that, they study and know the difference between the sound the bird makes, or if it's an animal, the footprint. And then they also know how long ago the footprint was. Right? That's their job. And so our job is to look at this and to see, is it telling me any signs, giving me any signs, or giving me any footprints? Right now, there's no rush. I'm not in a rush to do anything right now. There's literally nothing to do. For me, right? Just for me personally. Maybe you're like, okay, it's short and you're short up here, and that's fine. But personally for me, I don't see anything to do. The first presented fair value gap hasn't even formed yet. So that's my indication. I'm like, I'm just waiting. I'm just going to wait. I would love to see a fair value gap form over top of this. That's what I would like to see. Doesn't mean that that's going to happen. That's just what I want to see. I need to find someone to make like a theme song. So like when I put on the intro and stuff, it's kind of cool. And if there's anything else you guys suggest that would make this, more interesting or, a good time, just let me know. You can always let me know. I'm always looking to improve. I put some books up now at the bottom, so now that you can hopefully hear me a lot better. And hopefully I'm not like yesterday was a little bit too loud in my opinion. I was going a little crazy. So we'll see. I would love a gap over top of this. A gap over top of this, trade down, use this, look for the high, look for higher. Let's see if we can get that. Now if we can't, we show massive rejection from here. And then this is coupled up with SMT. But right now there's really nothing to do. Again, it's starting to look like yesterday, right? Initially. So I want everyone else to get in. I'm okay with getting the scraps, right? I don't want to be in all this. I'm not trying to be the first one to get all that stuff. Let other people have that. I need like someone to create like a what would it be? An hour or 2 hour long like instrumental type thing that I can play in the background. I just have to figure out how to not have it be recorded over top of this, because you can do that on Twitch, but I don't know how you do that on YouTube. That's the issue that I have. I don't know how to do that. Maybe someone knows. I have no idea. I was supposed to go to Zara today, but they're closed. They're doing renovations. So I will be still going, not to Zara, but you say you got way more pay. Hopping off and waiting for the PM session later. Yeah, bro, it's just like I operate in this time, so like waiting for the PM session for me, I just like there's things I want to do later, right? So that's why it's just not it. But yeah, I appreciate you hopping on, Tony. Just can you hit me up on Instagram? I just had something I'll message you about it there. Right now on here it says my Instagram is I am Brandon Polk. It will change to that one. Just hit me up on Pipcasso FX, because right now I don't have access to my phone, so yeah. So I can't do nothing about that. But yeah, man, the PM session, it could be there. It's just this is my business hours, right? Right now it's my business hours, so I'm waiting. If it's like doing this until like let's say 11 or something, then I'm like I'm out. I ain't doing that. But yeah, there's nothing to do right now. And this is good practice for me. So like literally right now, you guys can't see it. My hands are like, I'm almost sitting on my hands actually. Like I'm sitting on them. There's really nothing to do. So just chilling here. But I appreciate it, man. Hope you have a great day, Tony. I know you're across the pond. I think it's like what time? What is it, like 2 over there for you? Almost 3, I think. So yeah, man, the patience. Or you remember what? I forget who said it, but ICT would always say, he's like, the chop is real. That stuff used to make me laugh all the time. The chop is real. But yeah, you know, when it's ready to run, it lets you know. And right now it's not ready. It needs to get some stuff out. Angels by when he speaks, what's that say about you and me? And beyond. Remember, we do have SMT at the highs. So I am noting that. My thought process is, how are we responding below lows right now, above a high, at least on the 15-minute chart? We've rejected that. We have 9 minutes into the macro time. So remember, I think in his, not his latest video, one of his videos, he talks about main characters and then like the, what does he call them? Extras, I guess. I don't think he calls them extras, but I'll call them that. Where you're looking for main characters. Now I am noticing that this is look at the bodies of this. If I even put this on the midline, we respect the midline. So that to me is actually kind of important. But in terms of like looking for displacement, I'm not seeing that actor yet. So for me, it's not telling me like, oh, it wants to trade lower. Even though there is SMT at the highs, it's not showing that right now. And I'm not interested in trying to, like, I want it to show me. I want it to show me. I don't want to guess. Because right now I feel like I'd be guessing. And if this, what is it? If this holds, how many, you got like 20 seconds left. This would be the first presented fair value gap. And look how small that is. It has a volume imbalance there, but fairly small. So we now have the first presented fair value gap. It formed, we don't even have it on, I guess here it formed at 940. So there's the first presented fair value gap with a volume imbalance. So just chilling. But even look at this, right? Let's go look at yesterday. Let's look at yesterday when it moved. Look how clear this is. What is this? What's this das, Buddha? Like, what are we doing? Look at the wicks on the 5-minute chart. Same thing with the 15-minute chart. You have a lot of wicks up there. But this isn't showing anything right now. It's not showing, it's showing absolutely nothing. either direction, honestly. Up here, you're seeing more wicks. Okay, the bodies are closing down here, which is a nice sign if you're looking for shorts. Very nice sign, including taking it out of this. Very nice sign. But with SMT here, do notice that, do see that. But need to see displacement, because it'll displace. If it wants to go lower, it's going to displace. It's going to come back up. What's good, teacher? What's good? If it's going to displace, it'll come back up. Like, I'm not worried about missing the move if it's going to actually end up going lower and I'm wrong on direction. I'm not worried about missing that move, because it's going to come back to a premium. And if it doesn't come back to a premium and it just runs away, then that's just what happens. Right? I need to make sure like I'm disciplining myself to make to make sure that when I'm getting into a trade, if I'm buying, it needs to come to a discount. If I'm selling, it needs to come back up to a premium. That has to be more. That has to be a little bit more concrete for me. So we hit the high of the midnight opening range. We'll see what happens when we get there. Right, again, I'm not in a rush to get into anything right now because I don't like the way this looks visually, right? Visually, the way this looks, I don't like it. So it needs to be a little bit more concrete for me. And I'm okay with missing trades and not taking a trade today. But I need to see more evidence for me. Remember, we do have SMT at the highs with the ES. So I am noticing that. Yeah, yeet. To me, I don't know. It doesn't look like it really wants to trade lower. But got to be patient here. I think on the 2-minute chart, there was a fair value gap there, yeah. On the 2-minute chart. We really ain't got nothing going on right now. Hey, what do you guys think about the thumbnail? I tried something different today. I think I'm gonna keep it. It looks kind of cool. Feel it in my bones, but I've got to know. So yeah, just chilling here. Just chilling. Probably honestly 10:30. Like an hour, let's say like a little over an hour. If it hasn't done anything by then, like I ain't interested. It's all right. We got to remember Monday is a bank holiday, so remember that. I won't be streaming on Monday. I will be watching the national championship though. Who do you guys got? I got Indiana. And the only reason why I got Indiana, hear me out. The coach that's coaching there now, pretty much the whole coaching staff at Indiana coached me when I transferred to JMU. That's why I got Indiana. So I ain't no bandwagon. Like, I know them. So that's a little bit different than saying, oh, yeah, I just want them to win because they're undefeated or they're just playing very well. They coached me. So that's my in. That's my way in. You got my... Bro, yo, how do you time someone out in here? Can you time someone out? Can I time someone out? Oh, I can put you in time. Yo, I can put you in timeout, bro. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing with you. Why you got Miami, though? How you got Miami? They gonna get smoked, bro. Yeah, you better get out of here with that Michael Irvin stuff, bro. He need to go somewhere else. Get him out of here. Nah, he ain't get yet. Y'all about to get the belt. Y'all tripping if you think Miami's about to win. It's not gonna be close. See, we haven't really done anything right now. Yeah, I was gonna do that. If I had the soundboard, that's what it would have been put on right there. Like, you're like, bro, what? Miami? Get out of here, bro. They ain't. It's gonna be GG's to them, though. I congratulate them for trying. I really do. Because it must be hard just knowing that you're about to get smoked. So the reaction here, I actually am kind of liking. At least to the downside, it is kind of looking a little bit heavy. But just entries for me, they're not there. Like, this is not something I would ever take. Not something I would ever take. So if we can actually show this and not like come down here and then show SMT down here, because if we're doing that type of action, I'm not interested today because it's probably going to be a little bit more hard to read, right? I don't want to just be sitting here be like, oh, I think it's going to go up. Okay, now I think it's going to go down. Okay, if I'm starting to do that, it's just time to go, right? That's what I'm looking for. So I want to see them start to both move in the same direction, because we know that we have SMT inside this 15-minute gap that we have here that I outlined beforehand inside this the swing high, right? ICT has talked about that. When you have a swing high and it turns, mark the first fair value gap that's here. That is that's before the swing high forms when it breaks. That he would rather suggest taking this one that's on the sell side of the curve over the one that's on the buy side of the curve. So over even this one. So notice how this is the first one here. If you extend it out, I think it still hits it. It does hit it. So it does go up in there, but his focus is on this one. So if his focus is on that one, my focus is on that one. That's how I'm looking at it. Again, I'm not an expert on that. It's just something that he had brought to my attention. I don't do it every single trade. It's just, for me, I saw it there and that's what made sense to me. So that's what I was looking for. But again, look, there's really nothing here right now. I appreciate you guys for hopping out and hanging out, because trust me, I'm trying not to make this boring, but this is literally like trading. Like 90% of the time, you're just doing this. You're just waiting and watching. Very, very, or if you're trying to be consistent in what you're doing. If you just want to have fun and play games, I can click buttons all day. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to just entertain you guys. Like, this is something I love doing. This is something I enjoy doing. And I want to be the best that I can be at this. And so playing around is not what I'm here for. But I'm also not trying to make you guys to sit here in silence and just watch this. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to also be cognizant of that as well. So it would be very interesting. I would never do this because it'd be very distracting. But imagine playing like Call of Duty or Fortnite, just waiting for this stuff. See, that would be a different vibe now. That'd be a different vibe. But wait, hold on, we gotta pause the game because the setup's about to occur. But that would never happen because I'd be too locked in Fortnite. It would miss every single move here. Or Call of Duty, which is my favorite. I haven't played that in years. I used to be when I was younger, I used to not like Search and Destroy because it was so scary. You know what I mean? Like it felt like real life. You're like, dang, like you're out the game when they get you. So I'd be like hiding and stuff, and I would love to play like Capture the Flag and all that stuff. So I want to see what we do below here. Below that low. Are we able to displace, or are we peaking? But I'll get back to Search and Destroy. Now I love Search and Destroy because that's where the good players play. They don't play on Team Deathmatch and whatever the other ones are. They don't play there. They play at the big boys, the big boy levels. So, and that's where I want to play. I want to play with them. That's why Miami's playing against Indiana. They want to play with the big boys. It's like their older brother. I kid. Hey, we might have to make a bet on that one. Bet the house. I forgot about that. I'm about to go start looking at the bets. I might play some bets. Come on now. I forgot about that. Yo, yeah, I might have to play some real live bets though. Not just like okay, so we're getting some, we'll get some action here. Let's pause for a second. We're getting some nice stuff here. Let's pause for a second here. We might be getting something. I'm telling you, Mendoza's like that. But the thing is, yeah, I'm about to time you out, bro. You're about to get a little timeout. How many people? Let me put a poll. Do we time? I don't know how to do this. I can put you in timeout, bro. I can put you in timeout right now. You won't even be able to talk in the chat no more. Like a 5-minute timeout. Who thinks he should be timed out? If y'all put yes, I'll time him out real quick. See, I need to pay attention. Okay, so the 3-minute chart is giving us something cool. 2-minute chart gives us something nice too. Okay. Okay. Look, I think we're going to get a little bit, some short action going on. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to be patient and wait. And we may draw back down to the, oh, where is it? Down here. You're in gold longs. Okay. Okay. I see. You're in the Goldilocks longs. The Goldilocks longs. Macro time. Okay. So I'm liking this. I'm thinking that this actually is some SMT here because it showed me that. A little bit wrong on the direction. And you know what? That's okay. That is okay. That is a-okay. So hopefully it doesn't just run down there. If it does, then that's what happens today. But I like this. So if we can kind of get some good closes here, my stop loss will be above here, and I'll look for down there. As long as we don't just obviously just dump. Now if we dump, then that's a total different scenario. Because we're going to run right down into, hey, Corgi, okay, nice, bro. Ooh, that's not what I meant. Nice, bro, appreciate you coming back to support. Yeah, so this gap down there is most likely the draw. But obviously, I ain't selling down there. That ain't me. I ain't doing that. Even if I was looking short up, I would have never shorted this right here. I can just tell you that right now. Even if I was looking for shorts, that would have never been my short. So this is what I want to see. I don't want to see us run down there yet. Like personally, like, come on, like trade back up. You know what I mean? Don't do that to the kid. Don't do that now. Come on. You know, give us a chance. Give us a chance. Give us a chance. That's what I'm waiting for. I want to see this before hitting down here and even taking out this low. Before doing that, give us a chance. And not just dumping, because I'm not going to. That's what I want to see. And I actually like that. If we could trade back up to that, I actually really love that. So I know it's on the 5-minute chart, so I don't need to look at that. But if we could trade up into this gap, I'll take 2. My stop loss will literally be right there. My stop loss has to be less than I don't think we're gonna get it, but I'm not here to chase this. I want to see it come back up. If it comes back up and gives the kid a nice little entry, I'm all for it. I'm not looking for this one. I don't want to trade up in it. I want to get us a nice little retracement. Can honestly set it up, to be honest. How do I do that here? So I can do here, because I think I can see. So limit sell 2. If we can get that. And then what would it be? Buying here. Let's see. It would be stop buy 2. And then target would be down here. We can get that. I don't know if we're going to get it. We may not get it. It may just not want to. May not want us to be friends forever. So then this, well, let me just leave that. This is fine. Come on, Nasdaq. We should have a little bit higher, my boy. Don't do this to us, man. Don't do this to us. Don't do this to us, man. Wow. You just gonna do us like that? That's crazy. I know y'all seen the Kevin Hart skit. This really about to do it to us like that. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Wow. Wow. I'm just kidding. If it doesn't give it to us, it doesn't give it to us. Oi. So, how I'm looking at this is there. Yeah, it's not giving to us. Dang, this joint is just screaming lower. It's just screaming. So honestly, this should probably be there. I'm gonna look for that. Would have much rather liked it if it didn't go down there initially, just start running down there. See, for me, I like this a lot better, right? I was looking for buys. It wasn't showing that. Okay, cool. But there was nothing above there for me that would have shown me to do anything. So we may get nothing. Like this may just start, its downward spiral, and there's nothing that we can do. So it's hitting those levels. Maybe it hits London low. But again, patience. Like I'm not. I have to wait for this. I'm not chasing down there. If I only get one trading day today or this week, then that's just how it pans out. But there's nothing there for me. It has to come back up. Well, I mean, it has to come back up in order for me to get entry. Corky Trader for the support. I don't know if you hit me up on Instagram yet. I haven't checked. I have to go on my computer screen for that. So yeah, there's really nothing. So I don't know yet. I'm telling you, this is what's even crazier about this. Going to lower time frame, seeing this on a 2-minute chart, I would have never taken this trade. Not in a million years would I have taken that trade. Not even here. Never would have taken that trade. No shot. So I want to see us trade a little bit up higher and trade and let's look for some I mean I would love to have been in it and had it trade up a little bit higher and not extend the way that it did below, but I have zero control over that. All I can do is control I think what I'm gonna try to do is I was gonna say like piece it in, like scale in. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. It's probably very loud, my fault. Try to scale in and see what we're getting there. Did this hit this out? It did not. It fell short. Okay, cool. So we'll probably get another way. I don't want it to. How much time we have left? This is a 5-minute chart. Come on, give it to us. Don't do that. Wow. I hope it was worth it. Y'all know that one. Little Kevin Hart John. Come on, bro. What are we doing, bro? I'm not buying. I'm not, even if there's crazy displacement down there, I'm not interested in that. I'm not doing that. 9 donka. I want to see it come back up here. And I'm also not going to wait all day for it to come back up there. If it just does all that, then that's just it's just what happens, you know. So this is personally what I want to see us. I don't want to see us respect this. Cool, come up here, tag the kid in, and then, you know, the rest is history, you know. But I don't have control over that. All I can do is wait. We have all this sell side down there too. Which I have on my other thing, my other screen. So I have this one, which is Asia low. You waiting for the pullback? Yeah, I'm waiting for the pullback. See if we can get that. That's what I'm waiting for. But we'll see if that happens. Still holding long on the Goldilocks. The Goldilocks. The Goldilocks trade. How's that one going? I don't think we're gonna get all the way up there. To be honest, I don't even think we're gonna get all the way up there. But I'm going to be patient and wait because your boy is not about to get it. I'd rather get stopped out up here than stopped out down. Okay, let me look at that. Stop. Nah. We ain't doing that. You know, like the Marcus, what is his name? I forget his name. Something Peterson. He was like, they were asking him about something about whatchamacallit, something about like football, and he was like, I said we ain't done yet. Something like that. That's what I'm kind of getting right here. I said we ain't done yet. I almost want to add one here. If it can trade up there. So this has been my criteria, right? I need to see it come to a discount. A premium in this instance. I personally don't know if it can get up there, but this is what I'm going to wait for. And if it cannot get up there and it trades lower, that's just today. But that's what I want to see. I just personally don't think it's going to do that because of how close it is to the low, but also the way that ES looks. So there would be some SMT there. But that's what I'm looking for. I would love to see it trade deeper up in there because it would scare a lot of people that are trying to trade short right now. It would incite fear. Explain SMT. Okay. So a smart money tool, smart money technique, ICT calls it either way. So what SMT is shows that there's underlyingly something else happening in the market, right? So again, I was looking for higher prices. We didn't get that, right? So what I said in the beginning was we do have SMT at the highs, which is this. So this high is higher. So if I was looking for shorts off rip in the beginning, this to me is an indication that this is underlyingly weaker, and this is just a stop run or a turtle soup is what ICT calls it. He calls them turtle soups. So what it's indicating to you is like, okay, now it's time. So once these buys are closing and it breaks down, that's the time element that lets you know that now we're going to be looking for lower prices. So once I saw that and we broke down and we have this speed and we have all of this gives me confidence that this is the high. And we could be looking for down here and even ultimately down there. That's what that's telling me. Now, again, I can still be wrong. There's always the case. You always have that. But I don't know if that explained it to you. Hopefully I did. I try to explain it as best as I can. It's just a technique that helps you see that there's something else underlying going underneath. Because if I'm just looking at this, right, which most people do, if I just look at this, I'm looking at this. Potentially, most people trade breakouts and stuff. they can't see that if they look at ES, that ES is not showing the same strength that Nasdaq is. So they get a little bit confused, or they think it's a breakout. So they try to buy up here, and it just doesn't work out. So that's what SMT is. And you have the same thing at the bottom. So I was trying to make sure that there wasn't that there either. It's not. See how it came really close and then kind of traded back up? I don't think that. So ES is E-mini S&P. It's the S&P 500. So this is the Nasdaq 100 that I trade specifically. This is the ES S&P 500. So it's just the other name for it. You also have the Dow, the Dirty 30. Dirty 30. I don't trade the Dow. I think people that trade the Dow are mental. Not really, but yeah, I don't know. I don't see how you even trade that thing. It's just you don't even see me comparing it. I'm like, I don't even want to compare this thing. There's no comparison. So ES just showing strength in the market. No, so ES was showing weakness, overall weakness. So if you're looking for shorts, you want to see this in your trade. This helps you gain, at least for me, gains more confidence in what I'm looking for. That's why I was okay with taking this. Now, I don't want to see this one. I actually want to see if it can trade up into here. And then I'm willing to take the short. So if you're looking for relative strength, let's say this sell side, let's say Nasdaq took out this low and then ES didn't take out the low, wasn't even close. Here's a better version. Let me show you. Yeah, I'm waiting for that to turn up, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you this. We're going to go on the daily chart. This is what SMT looks like. So this is the same buy side liquidity. Let's do it like this. It's going to probably be a little bit easier like this for you. So you can look at it. Look at the same high. Look how ES is above the high. Look how NQ is not even close. So that's what SMT is. It's relative to, you have to compare two similar assets. You can't be comparing gold and Nasdaq. Like, that's not it. It's going to be gold and the dollar. If you're trading, if you also want to do another comparison, you would do gold and silver, something like that. So you want to compare to see which one's weaker or stronger based off of what you're expecting in the marketplace. That's how I'm looking at that. That's what SMT is. Hopefully that was a little bit better illustration. Wait, now I'm tripping right now. I can't figure out how to, oh, there it is. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's all that is. And so since I was initially looking for buys, but that was not being seen. So I'm not just going to do that. With this is what I'd want to see. Now, again, we take this out, this sell side out down here. I'm not as interested. I'm not trying to get that. I want this, but I don't think we're going to get that because of, I don't think we're going to get it. That's just my opinion. But we can still come up there because it hasn't necessarily taken out this low yet. This is where obviously way more sell side is resting. Look at these lows down here. So we can get that, but it needs to come back up for me in order for me to get back in. So that's what I'm waiting for. But again, it may not do it. On the 1 minute chart, it may actually be a nice on the 1 minute chart, it may be a nice setup here actually. But the thing is, like, if I'm only thinking it's gonna go here, not a nice setup. If I believe they can trade a little bit lower, I'm gonna put my other chart on so I can see. Great setup, especially if we can displace, but ideally I want to see it come up here. I would have loved to see this come back up here. So yeah, just waiting, man. There's no entry for me today. From where I would have wanted to see it. That's what I'm trying to say. So now we do have the 15-minute gap has now formed. So maybe we could get a little bit of retracement back up here. And the 15-minute gap is like probably right. It's right above that. The high's there. So that's a little deep in there. We'll see what we get. And it's just one of those days you just have to be very, very patient. And if you got up here, like, kudos. That I would have never taken that. So, or at least not in my understanding right now, I would have never taken it. I guess that's the better way to say it. Now I did, you know how I said like the bodies here showed the key signature that you'd be looking for. Just if it had shown more displacement and then did this, I would have, but it didn't do that. So I can't just take that. But yeah, we're just inside the new day opening gap, current new day opening gap. So have to wait for the retracement. If it's like pushing towards, you know, I have something to do at 12, so not going to be here till 12, hopefully. But yeah, I just feel like getting in down there for me is not what I should do. Now, even though it traded up into a 5-minute gap, and like if it had traded up, this is what I was looking to see if we were going to get. If we trade up into a 5-minute gap and then show like nice displacement, that would have been like, I'm like, okay, so it's probably not going to trade up here. We trade up into a gap, showed nice displacement below this low, coming back up into it, but we're not getting that either. So I'm not interested in that part. It may just be like one of those days where it doesn't, my rules just don't allow me to get in. But that's what I would want to see. We have London low also that's like literally chilling. This is London low. Right there. I mean, sorry, PM session. Wait, what am I looking at? Oh, London low from yesterday is here. Tripping. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, then you have the PM session low, which is hanging right here, this sell side. So, again, very easy target, but for me, just doesn't make sense. Would have much rather loved to see it come up a little bit higher. It just didn't give that to me. And I didn't take that first enter into that because for me, it just wasn't. It's not enough. Wasn't enough for me. Yeah, no. This might be like end up being a no trade day, unless it can. So now if it does this and comes back up into here, that's perfect. But I'm thinking from where it's at, how close it is to this low, it wants to just, you know, smoke it real quick. That's what I'm seeing right now. So I don't think that my entry is gonna get hit. That's okay. I had no risk on the trade. I had no risk, no nothing. So we fell short of London low yesterday, but I'm sure that we're gonna smack it now. Yeah, we just hit it. And this might be a melt sesh. Yeah, and the next thing clear down there, Asia lows. Asia lows. Asia low. So it's clear sell side there. That was, a nice target, but didn't trade up high enough for us to get an opportunity to get in. So we're going to see how this forms. What I'm watching now is if this can form a M5 gap. I want to see how we respond here, and then I think we can take it down to right there. But I want to see this 5-minute gap form. I'm not shaking anything ahead of that forming because I need to see. I want to see that form. And we have like 4 minutes. So 4 minutes for that to form. If it leaves that open, then I'm not. That'll be like I'm not doing anything else outside of that. I'll lock my account and move on to the next week. Hard-headed believer. Again, need to see a gap there. Hard-headed believer. So for me now, looking at where it's come up into, like now the gap would be here. I'd be a little bit less likely to take this. But we have what? A couple minutes left. Yeah, so I don't even think it's gonna form actually. I think it might even close that in, to be honest. Perfect. So nothing there. Let's see. Let's look at ES real quick. I don't even think ES is taking this out yet, which is crazy. Oh, it did barely. Barely, but. Now let's take the same range. Yeah, okay, I like that. And that's why I said I wanted to see a 5-minute gap form. It didn't form, so for me, I was like, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We're gonna see if we can target down here and even down there. So we'll see if that can be given to us. We can take this away. Should be a stop run into here. Baby. But I'll be right back for a second. Just one of them days. Just one of them days. That just won't trade up high enough for the kid. Won't trade up high enough for the kid. This even missed that. So even if I was waiting, let's say on a 2-minute chart, 3-minute chart, didn't even trade up high enough. Would not have been able to get in. Thinking maybe we can, these Asia lows look pretty clear. Hopefully you don't hear that dog. Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? I know y'all know that one. Gotta know that one. How is Euro USD doing? I ain't even seen the Forex pairs. I don't know nothing that's going on with them. I couldn't even tell you last time I really looked at it. One of my friends trades Euro USD. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, get out of Forex. Like, get out of that mess. He loves it. He loves that stuff. He's like, yeah, Euro USD, GU, baby. I'm like, BU. But I ain't finna do that. It looks like I may not press a button today. May not get any button pressing today. Might just be a chill week. Okay, so let's see if we can again, I gotta see displacement. Because we see some displacement below this low. Easy pickings down there. But that needs to be seen. Because we're failing to get up to gaps. Like we failed to get up here. I guess we didn't necessarily because there's a volume imbalance there, so we did hit it. That's why you gotta have those out. Again, gotta start seeing some displacement. Like it's just like slowly chugging down, and it's just not. Not my favorite. My favorite. It's not my favorite. See, I'm looking at this gap right here. I'm like, we've gone up in that, hit a 5-minute gap. This splice hit there. This to me. Let's just take those out right now. Have London low. No, I'm just gonna wait. I want to press that. I want to get in there on that, on like just one contract, but I just have a feeling that it's gonna pull back a little bit deeper than what I would want to see. My original entry, I don't think it's even gonna trade there from what we're seeing right now. So my thought process, I'm going to just put it there just so I can. This is also for me as well. There. Just looking for entry there. Looking to take it down there, but I don't like where it is. But yeah, my original entry up here just didn't trade high enough. So chillin'. I need to call Apple today and be like, look, you said you're gonna get me my access to my phone yesterday. Where you at? What's happening, cuz? Give me my access. That might actually not be too bad because that's the opening of a 5 minutes order block. It's the same thing. What am I trying to do? Just trying to change the color. See, it's a little bit harder for me on here because it's not normally where all my stuff is. So it's a 5. That's the open of a 5-minute order block after showing displacement here below the low. I'll take one if it actually goes there. And we'll see if we can add. See if we can get down there. That's what I'm gonna do. It has to trade up into that though. And I'll sell one, tripping. It needs to trade up into that one. But I need to see that happen. Oh man, don't tell me. It is. Yeah, yeet. This is why you gotta be careful with that. See, I should already been in that one. I didn't realize it was there's a volume imbalance there. Right there. So we can trade back up into this candle. Yeah, I might have missed the entry there. Trade up into that candle. I'll add one. It needs to close though. I'm gonna take one. And so I'm gonna take it down here. And if it goes up into there, that's fine. I'll add another one. I'm gonna see if we can get down to there. If it goes up in there, then I'm gonna take another one. So I saw this as an order block entry. And we'll see what we get here. So, oh, I don't have one. That's an order block entry. And I'm looking to see if we can trade back down to these equal lows. This is Asia low. And that's all I'm looking for. So let's see if we can get continuation, just drawing down towards the sell side that's right there. So again, if we come back up in here, I will take another one. We can do that. Back up into that. If I can only get one on, and let's say it goes down there, then that's all I get to get on. So just do. So it looks like I'm probably only gonna be able to get one on. I like the way that these are at least drawing down. I'm gonna see if 25,033.73. I think it's. I'm not sure what is it. That's 25,000. I can't see what this is. Center, I think. No. I'm tripping right now. Okay, so we have 25,553.75. 55. Oh, that's way down here. I'm tripping. 553. Let me see if we can get that up one more. 554. We're gonna see if that's where we're gonna get this draw down to those lows. That's what we're looking for. See if we can draw down to them. So right now, so far, so good of what we're looking. We're starting to see displacement now. Those Asia lows look pretty juicy, if I do say so myself. So what I'd want to see is immediate rebalance. Obviously, don't want to start to see it draw up a little bit too high, but if it does that, then that's also, part of trading. It's risk. There's risk you have to put on. Ideally, I wouldn't want to see it obviously come all the way back up into here, but it I can do whatever it wants now. But I'm looking for Asia low. I'm looking for one standard deviation below Asia low. That's what I'm looking for. If it would have created like a fair value gap or something, I would have tried to add one more. But I like that close. It needs to start displacing a little bit lower now. Now I'm just watching this wick to see how high up we're trading into it and respecting it. Do we respect the wick, or do we just obliterate it and just trade right through it? That's also what I'm watching. I'm going to add one, sell one there, and then I'm going to reduce risk to below here, and we're just gonna let it go. So this is all I could get to do today. This is the only trade I'll take today, just off base of where it's at, what's happening. So that's it. That's all that I have. I'm not looking to get any more. I'm not looking to do anything else. This either hits or it doesn't hit, and that's basically what I'm doing today. Obviously, want to see displacement below that low. Don't want to just start seeing peaking up and doing that, because then that's just all it is, if you know what I mean. Want to start seeing some displacement and large range candles trading lower, attacking this Asia low from yesterday. I think that's the clear draw right now. And I think it should start being a little bit heavy and start like displacing down there. And I'll look to take one off here if it can reach down there. I'll look to take one off at the Asia low and then just kind of go from there. So let's make sure we know where we, at least from here, that's not where the first entry was. So if we can reach here, I'm gonna move my stop and loss down a little bit closer down and then going from there. But need to see continuation. Who got smoked? Oh, the nasty drop on what? On gold? I don't know. I have no idea what's happening with gold. For me, for me, this is the draw. That's the vision that I see down there going down there. But, it could come back all the way up here and stop me out. And that's just what happens on today's trade. So if we can hit there, I'm going to move my stop loss down. Oh, on gold, they just tanked. I don't know what's going on with gold, bro. To be honest, I haven't even seen gold in, I don't know how long it's been. It's been a while. So once we hit there, and I want to see if we can trade through that and blow through that. Okay, now my stop loss is going to come here. Actually, at this point, it's going to come there. So $12. That's what I'll make on today. I want to see us draw towards Asia low. I believe that, we have this order block here. We have immediate rebalance here. I'm actually cooling right here. So $38. I want to see us trade towards Asia low. This has nothing. This is just halfway. Sorry, from where I entry. There are standard deviations there from the midnight opening range, but I'm believing that we're gonna hit this Asia low. Now, do we hit that before I get stopped out, or how does it work out? That I do not know. But this is what I'm expecting. That's at least heavy drawdown there. I want to start seeing it start to move very quickly with some speed, not retracing up too deep and just a pow, 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 pow. You know what I mean? Just right through that jaw. Just a little, right, kiss right down to those lows. That's what I want to see. But we may not get that. I'm okay with order block, immediate rebalance. Let's go to the higher time frame. Yeah, I'm okay with where my stop loss is. If that's all I make today, $38. All I make is $38. And that'll be it. And that'll be the only trade I take today. I'd be down I don't know. Who knows? Don't want to see this retracement here. I just kind of want to see it start to just drop, honestly. Just drop a Ruski. Because we have the immediate rebalance there. We have the order block there. That's why I have my stop loss where it is. I'm okay with the risks there. I don't want to jam it up too close. Looking on the higher time frame, it formed a 3-minute gap as well. So want to see it take out this low if it can and move with some speed. Don't necessarily want to start seeing it retrace a little bit, which is what we're getting here, but it's part of the game, right? I just don't want to just choke this, and it is what it is, right? All we can do is manage it. I feel like I managed this trade pretty well. I entered with very little drawdown, and all we can do is just wait because it's above a gap right now on a higher time frame. So I like that where it's placed, and just want to see continuation down to that Asia low, and then a little right through it. But if not, we don't get that, then we just don't get that today. It's not on the menu for today. Now, sometimes you go to a restaurant and you're like, yeah, I'll have the filet mignon, and they're like, we don't have that. Okay, we don't have that either. Okay, so I'll have at some point you just got to be like, look, what do you have? Right? And so I'm okay with what happens here, I want the filet mignon. The filet mignon is hitting down there at Asia low. Obviously, before getting stopped out, that would be my filet mignon. But, sometimes they just ain't got it today. And we have had like some real, like a deep drop, right? We've had deep drops. But at least right now, the way that it's reacting, I do like that. I do like how it's looking heavy in that wick, how it held that wick. Now, if it can get below this low that it has formed there, it needs to this joint needs to run, or else we're gonna be in a little bit. So this is what I'm looking. If we can take out this low, I'll move my stop loss down. That's how, it's in take profit, but that's how I'm visualizing this trade. That's what needs to happen. But if not, and it comes back and stops out in profit, then I didn't get the filet mignon. I got like the double cheeseburger or something like that. I got the cheeseburger. Hey, sometimes the cheeseburger be slapping though. Sometimes it don't slap. I like that so far. And that wick, I like that. I just feel like this down here is just a big magnet. Like those equal lows just sitting, chilling down there. I just feel like it's a magnet. It's like come here. But we'll see what we get. Do we get the full pull? Or do we get like a little bit of like the sample? Do we get the sample? Or do we get the whatever? I don't even know. Okay, so if we can take out that low, I'll now move it. But until then, we ain't doing nothing. My sister told me yesterday that when she was listening to this and I was getting real close to the mic and I was really loud, and obviously it's not conducive to you guys. It sounds probably like really, really too much. So I tried not to do that today. I'm pretty sure I still did a little bit of it. I'm sure she'll let me know. But yeah, sorry about that, teacher, that big drop on gold. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on with gold. So we may not get this. We may not get the filet mignon today. We may get the double cheeseburger. We may get the double cheeseburger today. But as long as I'm fed, the double cheeseburger is cool. Sorry. We may not get the double. We may not get the double today. Yeah, see, I don't like where my stop loss is compared to the 5-minute chart. But on the 3-minute chart, it's like, you know what I mean? I can take it on the 3-minute chart, but on the 5-minute chart, I'm like, come on, brother. That's got the hole for you, for the boy. Which time frame was I on, to be honest? Oh, it's on the 1-minute chart. Come on, take out the low, my boy. At least got us in, though. Remember how it was just running away? At least we got a good entry in. You deserve it. Yeah, so might just end the day like that, but it is what it is, man. The filet wasn't on the menu today. The filet mignon. Have y'all ever heard that before? The filet mignon? Sorry. This needs to react like now, or else we're gonna get we ain't getting the mignon today. Okay, that's a nice reaction. I like that. Then that needs to continue to hold and not trade back up. We can't get a bullish close here. Cannot get a bullish close here. I want to see it stay below that gap. We cannot get a bullish close here. Yeah, that's not good. Das ist nicht okay. Aber nah, it needs to like, yeah. Das ist nicht okay. See, we need to get a bearish close there. That was not a good close there. But hey yo, if this ends up going down, I'm telling you, God's got your boy covered. I'm just letting you know that right now, cause I'm just. How many times have you seen that where I put my stop loss and that John just like barely get close to it, right? So, God got everybody. Let me not act like I'm special. I ain't special, but I'm just saying like that John kind of crazy. Not saying that it's not gonna go back up there. Maybe it does go back up there. I don't know, but like that John crazy to me. It traded into a 5-minute gap. This should have gone lower. This should be going lower. But we just sit here and we wait. Maybe we get the mignon today. Maybe we get the double cheeseburger. But we for sure getting the pizza. That's for sure gonna happen. We getting the pizza. I want to see displacement. Like, come on, let's Yameen's this whole thing just start dropping. It's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready for takeoff. And it just pew. But we just waiting, man. Sunshine. So come on, now we need to start seeing some pew pew, some, as ICT would say it, my candles aren't black, but some black limousines pulling up. Yeah, we ain't getting that. We ain't saying we ain't done yet. Let's go a little bit higher. 15-minute chart right below near the Asia lows. So the reason why I put my stop loss like where it's at, and not saying that it's not going to get hit. It could easily get hit there now. And then that's the end of the stream, end of the week. The order block was there on the lower time frame. That's essentially what I was looking at, what I was targeting. So, but I don't think we're going to get the mignon today. I think we're just going to have the double cheeseburger with some pizza, with some fries on the side. Get the little fast food today. Because for me, it's just like, the fact that it keeps drawing back up there makes it looks like it wants to go potentially a little bit higher, but I've done all that I can in this trade. Like there's nothing else to do here, right? I feel like I got a good entry. I feel like I added on. I feel like I took like what I'm looking for, the draw, and that's about all that we can do. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. There we go. Okay. Well, we didn't get the filet mignon today, but we did do something today. Now, it did reach down here and did all that stuff there, but we didn't get the full pull. We didn't get all that, but it is what it is. So I made like $70 something today. Which is fine, obviously would have loved it for it to trade a little bit lower, but we didn't get that today. That wasn't on the menu. Started to retrace a little bit. Now you have this gap up here, but I'm not really interested in that. So that's the trade for today. Ended today on a dub. or ended this week. So this is, I didn't even realize I took a trade on Tuesday, to be honest. I forgot about it. So down $137 this week. Literally nothing. Not really worried about that at all. Wait, what? Oh, I guess it's the average in. I was like, why is it like that? I didn't know that. Anyways, doesn't matter. So this is what the play is for this week. We have minus $137. Multiply that by 2. That's what that was. Yeah, so that's all for today. I'm gonna lock out because ain't really nothing else for me to do today. So go back to the trade. What chart data, executions. So I think execution wise, I mean, it may end up coming up here and stopping me out because a 5-minute chart, there's a gap up there. But from where my entry was, I don't think it was necessary for it to, I didn't want to see it trade up that high. So it probably could still do that. Anyways, so the filet mignon, just, they might have it at a later date. That's how we're looking at it. So we had price trade up into this. I saw us trade up here, respect this, create a gap below here, overlap with a 5-minute gap, also with the old low. So I took it when it traded up into there. Then the second trade was inside of this wick. When price was trading up into it, I sold it again and was looking for down here, which I still think is the delivery. It's still going to go a little bit lower. Just on the 5-minute chart, this is where it was, and I was not willing to put my stop loss back up here. It doesn't make any sense for me to put it up there. From where it was, I thought it should have respected this and then traded lower. Just didn't get that. That's fine. And ended up getting stopped out on this candle. And that's just how today went. So made a whopping $37. We're getting pizza tonight. But yeah, so that was today's trade. Went below this low, thought we would be attacking Asia, and we're not. So like, I'm very happy with where I put my stop loss and everything, because I would not be happy right now. I can tell you that right now. So I didn't think that we should be that low here. Created that. I didn't think that should have happened, but it is what it is. And that's what today offered. I didn't get my original entry up here. This didn't form a 5-minute gap like I wanted, so there's no entry. There would have been 0 entry there for me. Price went down. Yeah, so that's about today's trade. There's really nothing else to talk about. I still think that it wants to come down here overall. But, I mean, if you take this, this is now into a premium market. Remember, this was where I wanted to see it trade up to take a trade originally. But then I realized that there was a volume imbalance, and I was okay with taking this. And so overall, I'm okay with what happened, because we just go again the next day, which would be on Tuesday. Tuesday would be the next day. And I actually kind of want to watch this. This could probably gonna see if it rejects here, because this would be right back up at entry. Like, why would I sit through all this to come right back up at entry? It doesn't make any sense from where I was. Now, if I was waiting for this is a totally different scenario. If I was waiting for this to happen. So, and again, if this would have traded up again, I would have taken another one. That wasn't the layout. So, alrighty. So that's it. I appreciate you guys who have been here for the minute, the long run. Today was a longer day. Now, it didn't go exactly where we thought it was going to go, but that is A-okay. I'm ending the week strong with a whopping pizza party for me. But I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you appreciate you guys for being here. And I'll catch you guys on the next stream, which will be on Tuesday. Peace out, guys.